Hi, welcome to this week's Fiction Writing Tips. I'm Kirsten, and today I want to talk about a trope that is commonly used in fiction in a way that is troubling: the rape survivor trope. We see it in all kinds of entertainment media, TV shows, books, movies. The rape survivor trope can play out in a couple of ways. One is that a female character is presented to us, and she is defined almost entirely by a backstory of having been raped at some point in her life. Does she have problems with intimacy? She was raped. Is she aggressive toward people? She must have been raped. Is she exceedingly shy? Rape. Does she wear baggy clothes? Is she overweight? Does she have an addiction problem? Rape, rape, rape. Now, it is increasingly clear that rape and sexual assault of girls and women is alarmingly common. Alarmingly. And guys, yes, I know it happens to boys and men as well, and that is also an important conversation. But the conversation for today is sexual assault against girls and women, and how frequently it happens. So yes, when you consider that this is the reality in real life, you might think it's reasonable to portray it in works of fiction. But there are two critical questions that the authors should be asking here. Number one, does the story actually need for the woman to have been raped? Is that particular backstory a necessary element of the plot, or is it being used as a default explanation for a woman having issues? And number two, if that backstory is needed, are the true impacts being respected and explored with any kind of depth? Is the story just saying, well, this thing happened and now this is the way the person is? Or does the story acknowledge the pain and devastation that results from being raped? It's not always a backstory issue. Sometimes the rape is central to the plot. But what often happens in this case is that the woman after the rape is pretty much the same as the woman before the rape. There might be one or two scenes of high emotion, and then the woman is magically strong and ruthless and ready to do battle with the world. There are two major problems with this approach. One is that this is not how it works. Rape is a violent, intrusive crime, and victims don't just get over it and emerge as stronger versions of themselves. It can take years, and some people don't ever recover. Yes, many rape victims do develop strength after their traumas, but it's a long, difficult process. The second problem is that this kind of story kind of implies that a woman has to be victimized in order to become the hero that the story wants her to be. It undermines the idea that women can be complex, deep, strong characters without trauma, just as men can be. This is not all to say that rape should never be written about. Rape as a plot or as a backstory can work as long as it's done right. The book Room tells the story of a woman trying to raise a child while being held captive by the man who abused her. The book delves into the complexities that come with trauma. And there are books and movies that do a masterful job of exploring this topic. There is a place in fiction writing for stories about surviving rape, but the topic has to be treated with a great deal of respect. That's it for today. I'll see you on the weekend.